If he stays in, he's gonna get murdered. He's gonna get really, really hit hard, and he ain't gonna like any single bit of it. That much I can assure you.
NANI?
What? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is TheUzigunner, and I'm here to bring to you all the playoffs of the UBL, aka the Ultimate Battle League, where I'm going to be going up against none other than Joder of the Seattle Seakings. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm finally back home in Dhaka. I am very much ready and motivated to bring to you guys much more consistent content from this point onwards. So, to those of you that have stuck around through thick and thin throughout my inactivity, I'm very sorry, guys. Everything really just, it was just bad timing, guys. But just know that I genuinely appreciate you guys still sticking around and letting me know, giving me this continuous feedback in the comments. And trust me when I tell you, I will not let it go to waste. And to show for that, I have much more planned for all of you in the foreseeable future. So yeah, I hope you guys are very much excited for that. But basically, I think it's obvious by now that I'm still yet to upload, for my UBL battles. But just to give you guys a quick synopsis, I will definitely upload them in future videos. But as of now, considering how much I've been making the UBL boys wait, I think it would be in their and my personal best interest to get this out first, because you guys should stay up to date with everything that's going on, if you catch my drift. So on that note, I'm going to be uploading this first, and as far as my matches against Styx and Magnitude goes, I will be uploading them in a separate video, 2 battles in one, in the very next one. So I hope you guys stick around for just that. And as far as the last 2 matches, one of them had to be given to me via forfeit victory because unfortunately my opponent, aka Hera, could not make it. And last but not least, for my match against CJ, which happened during a time where I was preparing for my final exams, I could not find time. So in that regard, I needed to find a replacement for me. And on that note, Jolt ended up filling in for me for one night only. So yeah. Regardless, that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, guys, thank you so much for sticking around, and this is just the beginning. Trust me when I tell you. But yeah, as far as my opponent goes, who was Joder of the Seattle Seakings, he ended his regular season with a 5-5 record with a +1 differential, which definitely makes him a decent enough contender, and definitely someone I need to play my cards carefully around, because in case you guys don't remember the last encounter that I had with him, it was a pretty close one, I guess you could say. We definitely had our close shaves here and there, but yeah, he did make some transactions this time around, and honestly, I need to make sure I'm very careful. But yeah, as far as the team itself goes, huge shoutouts and thanks go to my boy Zazo, aka Iron Flash Gaming, the BBC GOAT, the BBC King, whatever you want to call it. He's the one who filled in. He's the one who really helped me out during the time where I couldn't necessarily find the time needed to build a squad like this in the first place. So yeah, on that note, thank you so much, Zazo. But yeah, let me show you guys what I got right now. Of course, here's the matchup, and judging from that alone, there are a certain amount of threats that I need to play my cards very carefully around. That being his Zygarde, and particularly his Rio Nicholas, because if he does happen to be this Iron Defense Combine set, which in theory he shouldn't be, considering how I happen to possess a Zoroark with me, I need to make sure that I don't give it a chance to breed, because if I do, it's definitely not going to be a good time for yours truly. So yeah, let me show you guys what I got right now. First things first, we got Choice Scarf Pure and Black, aka the Black Card, the greatest sports entertainer of all time. I really need to stop overhyping shit. With Ice Beam, Earth Power, Outrage, and Shadow Claw. As you can see, it's mostly special, especially offensive, because yeah, I have because of my 2 stabs. And honestly, for the final 2 moves, I don't necessarily need to run a good amount of attack to really put a dent on his squad. But yeah, Shadow Claw is mainly there for his Bronzing, which you're gonna see is gonna be a pretty decent threat to my squad. I need to make sure I play my cards carefully around this thing too, because if I can get rid of this thing, it would open up so much doors for my offensive prowess. And on that note, Kieran Black definitely takes the cake, really. So yeah. Next up, we got Gur, aka the Choice Bandit Crobat. Finally, a different set that I'm bringing this time around, exclusively for the playoffs, obviously, with Brave Bird, U-Turn, Defog, and Pursuit. And considering the fact that Joder actually gave up his Neo Lego this time around, I have so much less to worry about, and realistically speaking, his Bronzong is the only thing that can switch into this thing, and even then, like, if it ends up being specially defensive and so on, it takes like, what, 33% from a Brave Bird, so it definitely is not going to be a good time for him. So, on that note, Brave Bird, U-turn, and Pursuit are the three finest moves for me per se, especially with the latter being used to Pursuit, Trap, Gengar, and so on. Defog, obviously, to get rid of hazards in case something bad happens, and yeah. Next up, we got Rhydon These Nuts, aka the Choice Bandit Rhydon, with Earthquake, Rod Blast, Mega Horn, and Ice Punch. This is another very offensive Pokemon that really just runs circles around Joder's team in the sense that he has absolutely no possible switch in. Like, again, bro, you could make the argument that Bronzong could definitely come in on my face, but considering the fact that it does not have any sorts of recovery unless it happens to possess the Iapapa Berry and so on, it is going to really put in the finest to work. Mega Horn is more or less a very non-drawback play. Like, there's no way in hell someone switches a Tornadus in on a Rhydon to begin with. So yeah, on that note, that's pretty much self-explanatory. Earthquake, Rock Blast, Stab, Ice Punch, Vodka, Zygarde, and so on. Now, next up, we got Mega Aggron. You know, not a standard sort of Mega Aggron with Stealth Rock, Heavy Slam, Ice Punch, and Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw once again exists specifically for the Bronzong of his because I hate Bronzong to bits, and I want to whittle it down pretty much to the point where, you know, I have some of my other offensive Pokemon, particularly my Crobat and my Rhydon, to just pretty much have a field day against Joder's squad. So, yeah, Heavy Slam, cause Stab, Ice Punch, cause Fox Zygarde, and so on. Next up, we got Big Darius, aka the Focus Sash, Alakazam with Psychic, Shadow Ball, HP Ice, and Focus Blast. I think it's pretty self-explanatory considering the fact that I have no 1000 arrow switch in, that Zygarde is definitely a problem to my squad. And this is pretty much here to put a stop to him immediately because considering the fact that my team is 110% guaranteed to at least get some form of damage off on his Zygarde, unless he happens to be this camouflage set, in which case, you know, he still loses a lot of benefits to begin with. This is the greatest revenge killer for me for this particular squad that was cooked up, really. So yeah, Psychic and Shadow Ball, cause you know Bronzong sucks. Stab and Focus Blast is here particularly fun for that Houndoom of his. And yeah, last but not least, we got Wujishang, aka the Iapapa Berry Infernape, with Close Combat, Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, and Swords Dance. Now, as you can see, this is a pretty innovative spread in the sense that this is more or less here to take hits better from Slowking and be able to pop my Iapapa Berry off, and at the same time be able to deal with Mega Houndoom much better because it's pretty self-explanatory considering my squad that since this is more of a hyper-offensive build this time around, he has a much easier time whittling my squad down with Mega Houndoom. So in that sense, I need this special defense investment. And again, I'm not going to take any credit for it. Zazu was the one who came up with it himself. So huge shoutouts and thanks go to you, my boy. And yeah, overall, this is here to make sure that Houndoom really doesn't have that good of a time against me, and is also here to whittle things down with Swords Dance and so on. This is literally my tailor-made switch into Bronzong. So I swap into that, set up a Swords Dance immediately after, and then just pressurize him from there on out. So yeah, that's gonna be all there is to it for this team. Hope you all enjoyed, and with that, enough of me rambling on. Let's move on to the game, shall we? Alright guys, we are back right now, and as you can see, this is what Joder brought against me. But regardless, as far as the matchup itself goes, Rhydon really goes in hard on him. Like, honestly, there is nothing that Joder specifically can do when dealing with this thing. But in reality, my biggest fear would honestly have to be that Rio Nicholas of his, because if I do end up giving this thing a chance to set up, especially if it does end up being, Acid Armor, Calm Mind, which I don't really expect per se, because I do have a Zoroark in my squad, that would actually be really bad for me, but regardless, it's whatever. As far as my lead goes though, I really like Crobat here because I can just pretty much Brave Bird literally 5 of his 6 Pokemon, and if he leads off with his Bronzong, I can U-turn my ass on out of here into my Infernape, in which case I can definitely be able to set up a Swords Dance and pretty much just go on from there, really. So, on that note, oh wait, sorry, YouTube fam. I am going to just lead off with my Crobat here. If he leads off with his Bronzong, very good play, but he leads off with his Tornadus. Alright, if he stays in, he's gonna get murdered. He's gonna get really, really hit hard, and he ain't gonna like any single bit of it. That much I can assure you. Like, I did see, you know, I did see a replay, and from what I saw, Choice Bandit Bravebird actually can just straight up OHKO this Tornadus Therian, so on that note, I definitely expect myself to be outspeeding this thing and being able to knock it out. Yeah, I have 194 speed, he has 190 speed maximum, which is very good for me. So yes, my play is definitely just Brave Birding. Like, I have absolutely nothing stopping me from doing so, and if Joder stays in, there is a very huge chance that he will just straight up die now. And if he does actually choose to make the smart play by going the Wait, what? Okay, so my man's Joder actually brought Choice Scarf Tornadus Therian, which is definitely a surprising build from his behalf, I guess you could say. But you know what? It's fine. He does that, which I'm honestly very much okay with. I'm just gonna set up a Sword Dance on his face. I have a decent amount of HP investment to the point where I feel like I definitely will be able to live an Earthquake. Okay, he goes hard into Zygarde. Alright. You know what? I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. But if there's something I cannot respect, though, it would have to be the fact that I don't have a 5,000 arrow switch in. Which kinda sucks. Which really sucks. Oh boy. Regardless, my play now is to definitely hard swap out in my Kyurem Black. The fact that he hard swapped out into Zygarde pretty much gives me the suspicion that, you know, this is pretty much his only plausible switch in to this thing. That 1,000 arrows did that much to me, so let me see again what you are, my friend. Do I not have any HP investment on this one? I wonder. Yeah, I don't have any HP investment. Right, so that 1,000 arrows did like 42%-ish, which is perfectly understandable. And if I were a betting man, I would suspect that you definitely would not want to stay in on my face, I believe. So, on that note, I'm just gonna click Shadow Claw. Yeah. So hopefully, yeah, that's a 2-shot on this thing if I ever saw one. And this Bronzong is pretty much the only thing that's stopping me from, you know, just really just hurting him really hard with my offensive prowess. So on that note, this is definitely a very good turn for me. If he chooses to stay in, he is definitely going to die. Like, that much is in itself a given. The fact that he's leftovers is very good for me. So yeah, his only plausible switch-ins, I feel. I mean, he doesn't really have that much of an established switch-in for my Kyurem Black in the first place, considering the fact that like, he doesn't know I'm Choice Scarf. So if I wanted, I could just you know, switch up my moves right here, click Art Power on any potential Pokemon that he could try to pivot into. So if I were a betting man, I'd suspect that he'd either go straight into his into his Tornadus Therian, I guess. I mean, he should do that. But who am I? Alright, he goes out into his Houndoom, which I don't really agree with at all, because if I had, you know, if I'd just gone for an Earth Power, he would have been dead. He would have been a dead man walking, plain and simple. But you know what, it's fine. My play is now to honestly just go hard out into my Infernape. He's gonna Mega Evolve, he's gonna set us up. You know what, I'm fine with that. Because the thing is, while you may be setting up a substitute for yourself, and you may potentially get an opportunity to set up on my face, the fact of the matter is, you're just putting yourself in a position where I can just easily go out in my Crobat after and just Brave Bird something and knock something out. And considering the first turn, Brave Bird actually did 33%ish, so your Bronzong more or less could definitely... Oh, okay, that sucked. Yeah, that sucked. Sorry, fam. Honestly, I'm very much tempted to just hard swap out into my Rhydon and just hit something really hard in the face. Because the thing is, I could just easily close combat here. It's essentially a no drawback play. and I don't really expect him to just want to sack off his Zygarde just yet, because honestly that would just be like, that'd just be career suicide. And you know what? I want damage on his Pokemon, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Like, I am Iron Fist, and this is gonna hurt you. And at the same time, like I said, Rio Nicholas is one of the biggest threats to my squad. If I am able to knock this thing out, I am putting myself in a very good position, honestly. So, in that sense, you know what? I think this is definitely worth the play. I'm just gonna 100% just go straight for a Fire Punch right now. Yeah, I just weakened you down to the point of no return, and that is pretty much all I could ever ask for. You may be leftovers, but honestly, I could very much care less about that. Because now what I can do would honestly just go out into this, right on these nuts, and straight up just kill something. Yeah, goodbye. And this play also ensures the fact that he won't, you know, he won't be lenient enough to hard swap out into his Bronzong. Like, he can definitely go out into Zygarde. Okay, he can set up a sub too. Alright, actually, it's fine, it's fine. The reason I say it's fine is because the way this game is going, if I'm able to set up my stealth procs, I can actually Brave Bird and win this game. So yeah, he can definitely go for a coil. He can definitely go for a coil, but the thing is, like, I'm going to be able to knock you out with my yeah, I'm definitely gonna be able to revenge you with my Alakazam. And granted, he could definitely, you know, try to spam Hurricane and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, I wonder if that will work out for him. Like, my biggest concern here, actually, it really shouldn't be much of a concern for me. Okay, so at the end phase of this game, I can actually just spam Outrage on him. So he's 1000 Arrow substitute Coil, and I don't really know what his final move for this could potentially be, but alright, so here's what I'm thinking. I may just have to let my Rhydon go down here, but it should be fine, because Joder cannot necessarily just, you know, spam Hurricane and win with his Tornadus Therian, at least, like, not when I still have my Aggron with me. So, yeah. He can spam his Tectonic Rage, I'm perfectly fine with that. But, alright, you know what? Let me see how much +1 E-Speed does to my Black Heart. Extreme Speed does 35 to 41.5. Right, so I don't necessarily want to give I definitely do not want to give his what you may call it, the Bronzong, an opportunity to set up to set up a Stealth Rock on my face. So, pro tip, guys, if you want to see how much damage something does, you do this. Alright, so Outrage definitely does would have to be a roll to knock him out. So yeah, I'm definitely forced to go out in my big Darius here, which for some reason is a woman in this match. But regardless, my play now is to definitely click HP Ice here. And honestly, it should be okay, because again, as long as I keep my Crobat around, I should, in theory, just straight up, you know, leave such big holes in his squad to the point where he cannot recover, like, at all. Like, you guys saw yourself how much Brave Bird did to the Bronzong in the first place. So, yeah, Crobat, just see again. Yeah, so I got a pretty decently high, so I need to get a middle roll to knock out the Bronzong and all. But the fact that Joder's taking his time when clicking his next move is pretty peculiar. And yeah, okay, thank God he does not even have he does not have extreme speed with him, which is honestly a huge relief. All right, so as of now, I definitely want to still keep my Focus Sash around, and I don't see any reason whatsoever to... If he clicks Focus Blast, then very good play on his behalf, but he's gonna make the smart play by choosing to go for a U-turn. Definitely a very smart play on Joder's behalf. if he goes out into his Houndoom, which is definitely his play, I am going to get my ass on out of here. Because I do not want this thing to, to bite the dust. And in theory, okay, so here's how I think this match is going to go. If I go out into my Black Heart, he hits his Fire Blast. He knocks me out. I'm sad, but he cannot keep a substitute in the first place because I do have the Choice Scarf tech with me. Yeah, I just don't want to lose. I just don't want to lose the Hurricane Spam, guys. That's my biggest concern as of now. So let's see. If I sack on my Black Heart, I hard swap it in my Crobat. I'm guaranteed a kill, and I assume that he's gonna go out into his Bronzong. And then after Bronzong dies, he should, in theory, go out into his Tornadus Terrian again. In which case I'll still have 3 Pokemon left. To be fair, and I still do have my Focus Sash intact too. So unless his Houndoom does happen to possess Sucker Punch and all, I should be fine. Yes, I should be fine. So, on that note, I am just going to pretty much just sack off my Kyurem Black at this stage. That's my play, I think. Yeah, that's definitely my play. Like again, even if he makes a good read by choosing to U-turn out and go straight out into his Mega Houndoom, I am fine because I do have the Focus Sash with me. And if he has Sucker Punch with him, very good play on his behalf. But yeah, he goes out into his the Bell, aka the Bronzong, which honestly I could very much care less about because I am 100% clicking Shadow Claw. Like I'm not gonna allow you to set up your rocks. Like that ain't gonna be happening, sweet cheeks. Yeah, I'm definitely not letting you get your rocks up. So we're gonna be able to knock this thing out. Nice, nice, nice. And as of now, Outrage spam looks so much free, which is actually very huge for me. You see, I'm not gonna go out into my Mega Aggron and try to commit career suicide, because honestly, that's just a very poor play in general. So here's what I'm thinking. All right, I'm gonna keep spamming Shadow Claw. He's gonna eventually knock me out. I'm gonna go in my Crobat, which more or less guarantees the fact that Brave Bird is going to, give me the most minimalistic recoil. And like I'll still have three Pokemon left with me. So in that sense, yeah, I think that's game. Yeah, I think this is definitely game. So I'm just gonna keep. Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate you, because now you, my friend, are going to get hit very hard to the point where you won't be able to even recognize yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna click Outrage. So that does very good enough damage to the point where you will definitely die out. Like Blackheart, just look at this, look at its bulk, man, guys. Holy shit, like this thing is so ridiculously good. Even after that critical hit, he's not able to knock me out. So I'm definitely guaranteed a kill here. Whatever he chooses to go into is gonna get hit. Is gonna get hit so hard to the point where he's gonna wish that they were never born. And as of now, this game looks pretty much over, I guess. Like obviously, I don't want to count my, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but this does definitely look like ball game here, and I'm very grateful for that because, like, yeah, I really didn't have much time to prep for this one. As of now, Crobat looks very juicy here. Unfortunately, I have a 3-turn Outrage, so whatever he chooses to go for is irrelevant because I can now just easily go out into my Crobat. I'm gonna click Brave Bird, knock you out. Nothing really wants to switch in on this thing. Like literally nothing. Goodbye, Grey Wind. You won't be missed, sir. And as of now, I feel that Mega Aggron can actually just win this one. So yeah, I'm just gonna Brave Bird here. If he goes for a fire type move, that's fine with me. I'm especially defensive Mega Aggron as all hell, so it really doesn't matter. Gur is gonna be actually able to eat that hit just fine. Unfortunately, be shy of the kill. But I, my friend, am going to take this kill with my Mega Aggron. He's gonna go for Hurricane. He's gonna be able to connect. That's gonna do 20%. I'm not gonna get confused. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the semifinals of the UBL. Woo! I'm gonna be honest, guys. This was a very good match. Like, I was, Joder's prep was actually really, pretty solid. I guess, like, I would say, because honestly, like, that Rio Nicholas could have actually done me a huge number. Which is why I was so lenient on sacking my Infernape. Like, after, and needing to get that damage off on it. But, like, pretty much my end game for this one was just to ensure the fact that Brave Bird, Choice Bandit, Brave Bird, Crobat actually just puts in the finest of work here. And thankfully, that did happen to be the case. I can't necessarily say how the match would have gone if Joder had chosen to set up his rocks, but you know what, I'm glad he didn't, because, yeah, like, it definitely did help me out in the grand scheme of things. But regardless, I will leave his links in the description down below, fellas. Feel free to check them out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm really sorry for if the video ends up being lackluster, because if I do happen to rush, making this video and all, but trust me when I tell you, come semifinals to finals, I'm gonna be going all out. So yes, this is TheUzigunner signing out. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourselves a good day. Really, I should stop impersonating Shady Penguin. And with that, I bid you all adieu. Push!